Hey everyone! So today we're going to be making a poster. Let's take a look. So it looks like we have another client. Yay! So they're saying that we would like to hire you to create a 13-inch by 19-inch poster to promote our upcoming concert. This time the band is Space Cats. We have promoter information, the date, time, tickets, and a location. Sweet. What else do we have in this? We want something that represents our band, so something with space and cats, please. Also, we will be printing this on an inkjet printer and need a 1/4-inch bleed. That's important information to have. Now, not all clients are going to give you this type of information, so sometimes you have to ask. And thank you, and let us know if you have any questions. Space Cats. Awesome. So what you need to do, get ready guys, this is going to be a long one. So first off, we need to do some research. Before we get started, let's take a look at some posters, okay? Alright, so I just wanted to Google and put in concert posters, and there's a bunch of different poster examples here. We can kind of just take a look at what is going on. We could see that we have like a big main graphic, and we have some of the other information below. Now this is going to be a 13 by 19-inch poster, so we don't have to worry as much about having everything be really big, like if we're designing for online, because it's a poster that people can get close to in real life, right? So this is a really nice example. We have a nice graphic going on here. There's a lot of contrast between the dark background and the colors of the of all this going on. Lots of whites and pinks. Same whites and pinks are being used throughout. And if you'll notice, the same font is being used for the entire poster. All right, sweet. So we have all the information, the date, who's putting it on, all of this going on here, free entrance, and the website down here. And there's a bunch of different posters on here, so take your time if you want and peruse, take a look around. Think of different type of stuff that we might want to incorporate. I'm really liking these clouds, loving the colors for sure. Here's another one. Similar to the one we just looked at, but still different. Yeah, so there's a lot of different stuff we can do, but I think you'll notice that a lot of the principles that, if you remember thinking back to that layout video, the golden principles of layout that are being used, things like leaving extra space around areas, so there's, we don't have to take up all of the space with our text and such, but there's nice space here, contrast, a lot of important things going on here. Awesome. So let's go back real quick, and luckily we also have a Space Cats video. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but let's just watch a little bit of it. All right, so cool. I'm already digging the Space Cats feel. And just note that in general, designers often get inspiration from all kinds of different places. It doesn't have to be from other designs. In this case, we're making a poster for a band, so we can gain our inspiration from the band. Now, Space Cats isn't a real band as far as I know. I just happened to find this online when I was searching Space Cats just to see if there was a band out there. But you can already, hear that it kind of has an electronica vibe. It's upbeat. There's obviously space and cats. Okay, so we can take that information and translate it into our design. So upbeat, that means we're not making anything that looks depressing, no, hardcore metal or anything, no grunge rock. This is, all right. So, as you're doing your design, you may want to come back to this video and listen to the music again, and so you can get more of a feel of like, okay, we want some kind of design that matches up with the feel of the music. All right, guys, so let's get started. Let's jump into Photoshop. Move this. Let's see. let's get these windows. That's as small as we can go. All right, let's go about there. Cool. Alrighty. So first thing we need to do is create a new Photoshop file. So let's go to new file. And we need 13 by 0.5 by 19.5. And this is why. They said in the original email that they need a 1/4 inch bleed. So what that means is they want to print this from, you know, they want to do a full printing, the whole poster, no white edges basically. So adding a bleed means that there's extra space for any kind of printing issues, any abnormalities on the edges, so we still get an edge-to-edge print. Now, if you need a 1/4 inch on each side, so if I have 13 inches for the length, and I have a 1/4 inch on one side and a 1/4 inch on another side, that's going to equal a 1/2 inch. So that's why instead of a 13 inch document, we need a 13.5 inch to take into account that extra bleed. All right, so let's get back to it. Let's move myself down here for a second. All right, so I definitely want some kind of print, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and click on print up here because that's going to help out some of my settings. I need the width to be 13.5. I need to make sure I have that bleed on the whole document. So same thing for the height. I need 19.5. All right, for the resolution, we definitely want 300 pixels per inch. So when you're printing, it's different when you're creating graphics for online because the printing means that we're seeing it on paper, obviously, right? So 300 pixels per inch literally means that there's 300 little squares of color for every inch. That's going to create a nice smooth gradients when you're printing. If you try to print something that was created for online use that's like at 72 ppi, 96 ppi, and you try to print it large, it's going to look pixelated. It's exactly what pixelated means, is that you don't have enough pixels to create a nice smooth gradient between colors and such. So we want to make sure we're at 300 pixels per inch. Color mode is going to be RGB. Let's go ahead and go to 16-bit. Okay, 16-bit allows for more colors. Now, we're going to be doing, you know, this is going to be a print, so it's going to depend on the printer they're using to print this out, on exactly what type of colors we can have. But we might as well start with more colors than less. So let's go with 16-bit. Background contents white. We can go with transparent. That's fine. For the color profile, so my settings are automatically at Pro Photo RGB because it has the largest amount of colors available. For this though, let's go ahead and just go Adobe RGB 1998. Still has a lot of colors available though, okay? More than sRGB, which is what we would be using if we were creating this for web use. Okay, what else do we have here? Our file name. Okay, so let's do our file name, last name, first name, Space Cats, and underscore. We want to put, whoops, let's see, what did I put? I know what I put. You guys can't see it for whatever reason, but it's Space Cats poster working. We want to make sure we have our working file in case we need to come back to it, because we're also going to be making a print file from this. So let's go Space Cats poster 13 by 19, so 13x19, and I'm actually going to put an underscore. Now this is just a really smart thing to do because a lot of times when you get hired to do stuff like this, they might want different sizes. They might want a 13 by 19, they might want a 4 up on an 8.5 by 11. What that would mean is that they want 4 flyers on one 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So adding the dimensions in here is really helpful when you start creating, you know, 20, 30 files for one campaign, okay? All right, and then underscore working. Awesome. Let's hit create. And we have this set up. Now, oh, I meant to turn that off before. You're actually going to be adding your grid in a little bit, but don't worry about that yet. All right, next we need to choose a color palette. So We want to think about the poster, the music, everything going on, and pick about 4 colors that we're going to use throughout. And this is going to help you later on when you're like, what color should I use this? Go to your color palette, okay? So at this point, if you need to, go ahead and pause this video and look through the 100 color combinations, or you can watch this video again to help you figure out what to do. Let's go to this real quick. And I really love this page because it starts off with telling us about complementary colors, triadic colors, analogous color combinations, tetradic. So for my poster design, I'm thinking, and you guys don't have to choose the same thing I do, analogous color combination, because I'm thinking, you know, maybe some purples, blues, and teals would look really good with this. Oh, maybe purple, yellow, and teal. I think I'm gonna go, look at this, purple. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna go with, this isn't a tetradic. Do we have that one on there? No. So what I'm gonna do is a split complementary, which is complementary would be like yellow and purple, and then the split would be would actually be yellow and magenta and blue. So I think I'm gonna go yellow, magenta, purple, blue. Now you don't have to stick to this, but it's just, like I said, a good way to help you as you're creating your design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to Photoshop, and I'm going to open up my color panels. Okay. And so I just went to Window and clicked on Color, and there's a bunch of swatches here. Now there's a bunch of presets here. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to look for what I want to use. I'm going to look for maybe a bright purple, maybe more over here. Okay, and then let's see, let me go to swatches. All right, so there's my purple there. So that's been added there. Now let's see, I'm gonna go to, I'm gonna go to my yellows, and I might just go with a really light yellow for this. I might even just go white, but we'll just play with the light yellow here. Okay, and there's my swatches. So there's been some yellows added in there. And what else do I want? I want blues. Maybe a darker blue. Okay, and it's been added to my swatches. And maybe like a crazy cyan teal. All right, and there's my cyan there. So now I've got some different swatches up here to kind of come back to and look at. So when I'm thinking of what I'm doing, I can come back and look at these colors. Awesomeness. All right, so let's get back into here. Now it's time to search for some assets. All right, so this is, everyone's design is going to be slightly different, even though we're all creating for the same band, because you're going to choose your own photos for this. And if you want, you can totally take your own photos. I am totally open to that. You can take your own photos, you can find some photos. So we need some space photos, right? So first off, let's go to the NASA site, and let me just show you around real quick. So the NASA site is really cool because all of these photos are available for free to use. So I'm going to come up here and take videos and audio off, and then I'm going to search for, let's say, stars. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. Oh, here's something closer. All right, awesomeness. So here we can download it, and we have small and original. Now it's not telling us how big the original is, because now we got to remember that oh, what happened? Download original. Oh, it did tell us right there. 1041 by 987. Ooh, that might not be big enough, because you know we're at 300 pixels per inch. So if we're at 13 inches, 300 pixels. Let's bring up a calculator real quick. Wait, I don't need to bring up a calculator, duh. Let me just come over here to image, and I'm just gonna go to image size real quick and click on pixels, and it's telling me that my width is 4,000 pixels, a little bit over 4,000, and this is almost 6,000. So I need to make sure my images are going to work out well on here. So 4,000 by 6,000 is about what I'm looking for. So I could still use this. I would have to tile it, duplicate it to use it. Let's go back and see if I can find something else. There's one there, star formation, laboratory. They're gonna show me the original 19 by 1437, so that's getting bigger. I might use this one, so I can go ahead and download this, right click and save image as. Now at this point you probably want to make some kind of folder for this project because we're going to be having all kinds of different stuff. Space Cats poster. You might even want to make a new folder in here that says assets. So you know that these are just like the files that you're going to be bringing in. Okay, save. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and look at some of these other sites with you guys, but you guys need to take some time looking through each site and finding exactly what you want. Now let's look at Unsplash next. And this is where I'm gonna look for my cats. And you can look for kittens if you want, or cats. Now just be aware that this top part is paid stuff, iStock. You do have to scroll down a little bit and start looking for some cats. Okay, I'm kind of liking this one. So let's take a look. What's the info? Do we have, what's our, aha, here we go. Oh, this is nice and big. I'm just gonna go ahead and get the original size. That's even bigger than what I need. Actually, I think large might be good enough. I can come back if I need to. It is better to have more resolution than less. So let's go ahead and save that. Okay, and at Unsplash, you can look for other stuff too. When you are thinking about this poster, what is coming to mind? Do we want rocket ships? Okay, looks like we have some rocket ship stuff down here. This could be kind of cool, pulling it in. I kind of like that. Let's see, large. Let's go original for this one. Okay. All right, and so I'll let you guys look. There's all kinds of great stuff. UFOs, aliens, whatever you're thinking you want to add to this, you can. Oh, and in NASA, you can also search for planets. So if you want to add some planets in the background, you may want to do that as well. There's a whole bunch of really cool ones in here. All right, moving forward. Now we're going to create you're going to use a special text effect for the name. So I linked Envato Tuts here for you guys. And we can come in here, and I get the feeling that it has kind of an 80s vibe to it. So I'm, looking for some 80s text effects. And you can go ahead and start looking through the different ones and trying to decide what you want to use and what's going to work best for you. All right. What else do we need? Now we might want to add some textures to this too, and so a great way to do this is with brushes. So I'm thinking what's coming to mind for me is maybe like space dust. So I'm thinking smoke. Paint splatters might work. It kind of has that, but I think I'm going to look for smoke. So if I come here, there's Brush Easy. And there's all kinds of free Photoshop brushes here, so I can put in smoke. Ooh, let's go brushes. Whoops. let's see, smoke brushes. Okay, and there's a whole bunch of smoke brushes here, so you can download whichever pack you think is going to look cool, it's going to work out well. Let's see, what do I want to do? I don't know. They all look really cool. I might want a couple different ones. Oh, I like this one that kind of has movement to it. So I can go ahead and download this as well. Now, for this site, you do have to watch an ad. Whatever, it's free stuff. Okay, and I can save that there. Now, when it comes to, I did also link a reminder on how to install brushes in Photoshop. Pretty quick and easy. All right, and then, like I said, feel free to search for any other asset you'd like to include. Just make sure it's high resolution because, again, this document is about 4,000 by 6,000, so we want to make sure that the images we place in there are going to look great and not pixelated. Of course, you could make an argument for making some stuff pixelated, and if you do that, you better be ready to explain. All right, guys, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and look for some more stuff. You should do the same, and in the next video, we're going to start putting this all together.